Welcome back to the show, everybody. Liverpool Carabao Cup champions 2024. What else can we say about that? Another tough game. Always tough games against Chelsea, isn't it? Always drawn out. These games put years on you as a Liverpool fan. But absolutely brilliant. But if you can subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, and drop a like on the video. This is a kind of a Carabao Cup reaction stroke celebration, as they say. I'm just looking at all the different stuff coming through here now at the moment. Unbelievable. But boy God, what a game. Back and forth, everything going on. Again, more injuries by the looks of things. Gravenberch injured. Be interesting to see, and we'll talk about that during the show as well. Endo apparently left on crutches in a boot as well. We are really, really down to the bare bones, but that was an unbelievable win. Some people talk about the League Cup and they disrespect it and stuff like that. And it's such an important part of our history as Liverpool Football Club, isn't it? And we never disrespect it. And I mean, who doesn't want a day out in Wembley in February to lift the first bit of silverware and stuff like that? I mean, it was back and forth. At times we rode our luck. Chelsea had their chances. Virgil picking up the winner kind of felt like it. Anyone who wants to come on as well, if you want to come on and share your joy, there is the link. Anyone who wants to pop on and give us your thoughts, you're more than welcome. But yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. We do love Anfield South. I have to give a big shout out today to the fans. We've been questionable of the fans, especially at Anfield, over the last good few months and stuff like that. But I have to tell you, the fans were unbelievable today. To hear them in full voice, dragging us across the line, sucking the ball into that goal. They were absolutely outstanding to a man. I have to give props to the team, which was interesting. We'll have a look. There's our starting lineup. Look at that starting lineup. Two-man heroes, every one of them. And even the players that came on, big shout out. Joe Gomez having to come on for Ryan Gravenberch. What a nasty tackle that was. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Did you think it was a red? Did you think it was a yellow? And what about Caicedo? I mean, constantly fouling and getting away with it and not getting booked. It was a strange one. Connor Bradley went off for Bobby Clark. And Robbo went off for Costas. McAllister came off for McConnell. Cody Gakpo came off for Jaden Dance, and Kanate in the end coming off for a guy I've been talking about a lot on the Shankly sessions this season, Jarrell Kwanzaa. Let me know your thoughts, what you thought of the lineup when it came out. There was talk that Mo or Darwin could potentially make it, or even Dominic. They were spotted not on the walk around earlier in the day when we seen the walk around, but they were spotted after the walk around out on the pitch and stuff like that. And we were kind of thinking, could we have made it? Could they have made it? Could they feature? Could they even spring from the bench for 20 minutes? We held out with hope. And then, of course, the team came out and no mention of the three boys. And I think everyone would have any Liverpool fans out there would have went, right, this is going to be a tough one today. This is going to be a real tough one today. This is going to be an uphill battle. We've often fought hard. We've often had to do things the difficult way. We remember the Barcelona game and all and stuff like that. But this one's going to be a tough one. Chelsea coming into the game, not too many injuries. The likes of Reece James, maybe Thiago Silva not involved. But other than that, pretty strong. Some really talented players in there that still have to find their way and find their formula and stuff like that. But Cole Palmer's been outstanding, Conor Gallagher's been outstanding, Enzo's been outstanding, Caicedo's been outstanding. They've all really been really, really good at times this season. And at times we rode our luck. We were unlucky with the goal that was chalked off. We were lucky with the VAR decision that went for us. And that's at times that's the story of Liverpool's season, But before we get into the meat and the gravy of this, Uh, Roll me one Kenobi is in. How are you, my friend? Congrats on the win. Kelleher is who we wish Andre Lunin was like. He was man of the match today for you, guys. Yeah, Kelleher was outstanding. I spoke about it in the preview. I don't know where the disrespect for this man comes. He's an outstanding number two. And I've said it on podcast after podcast that when Allison gets injured or he's not available, when Quavine comes in, it doesn't generate any anxiety in me whatsoever compared to other players. And I said that time and time again. I don't know how he gets disrespected. Daz is in. Big up, Daz. Congratulations, my friend. A fellow Red. What's the crack? All good. And the Willis is in. Up the fucking Reds. Absolutely. 100%. Big up, Will. Brilliant. We were voice messaging each other after it and stuff like that. Good times. Always great to see the Reds win. Daz is back in. Red, I thought, no, yeah, I don't know. I think the fact that he was looking away and it was it was indifferent, but the fact that it got nothing was a weird one. That was it. Ian, I was in, what's the crack? And roll me one. Kenobi's in again. If we spent 100 million on Caicedo at Madrid and he played like that, he would be gone instantly. Absolutely, but in fairness, you have the wealth to make those decisions, and Chelsea again are kind of flirting with FFP and all these kind of things at the moment. So unfortunately, they're not in the position to be able to make decisions like that. And it's a weird one. I wonder with Caicedo as well, if he had made the decision in the summer to go to Liverpool, would it be different in there linking back up with McAllister and all and kind of playing that Klopp way, rather than the Chelsea way of trying to find a way of playing at the moment, stuff that maybe it would be different. We've seen his quality at Brighton, but I think a lot of talk has been coming out about whether he made the right decision or not, and all that kind of thing and stuff like that. And sometimes you make decisions in life where you go chase the bag and it's not the right decision. We've seen it with a number of players who have gone to Saudi, and it just hasn't worked for them at all. That's all right, Richie. All good. Miss a lot of football. I've some catching up to do. You certainly do. Roll me one Kenobi. If Chelsea stays with Poch after this, they're going nowhere. Yeah, I think. Do you know what it is? I think they'll probably run it out to. They'll probably run it out to the end of the season. I'm not too sure. I don't. A lot of talk coming out and all that they don't necessarily want to make. I think is it the Europa Conference or something like that and all. They might end up losing more money because of the cost with the players and bonus and the extra cost of all that kind of thing. So I don't know what way they're going to go with it. They might just write off the season, stuff like that, and then they'll definitely. You certainly won't see Chelsea with Poch as the manager next season. That's for sure. Yeah, I've missed a lot of football. Guess I've some catching up to do. You certainly do. Helen's in. Big up. We are the best. We are Liverpool. Up the mighty Reds. The top of the table Reds. Top of the table as well. 15 million Wataru Endo cost. He looked like £100 million player today. Zane, he's unbelievable, isn't he? He's unbelievable. I've said it now. If you go back through the previous podcast, I've said it. He has put in man of the match performances probably over the last 2 to 3 months prior to even going away to the Asian Cup. He was outstanding in a lot of these games, and he ran himself into the ground today. Absolutely. And I just hope that injury isn't that serious and stuff like that, because if we lose him, we're in serious trouble. His energy is infectious in that middle of the park and stuff like that, and he makes players around him work really hard as well, which is something that's really important for a player like him, because he's so experienced as well, and we forget that as well. And I think it's just he's been absolutely outstanding. But today there shouldn't be any player of the match today or man of the match today. They were outstanding. 1 to 15, 1 to 16, whatever amount of players came on. Every single player today was outstanding, and all the players that took part in the qualifying stages and all to get to the final have done an outstanding job in what has become quite a difficult season in terms of the announcement from Klopp and everything else, and the amount of injuries. We would be forgiven for buckling under this kind of pressure, but we don't. As Liverpool Football Club, we come together and we always try to find a way. Yeah, absolutely. Roll me one. There's no brotherhood in that Chelsea team. They're hoarded with players who only cared about their brand and the badge they wear. Yeah, probably some truth to that as well. But I think there's just a disjointment in there as well, isn't there? I think again, you've had another situation where you've had a lot of flinging players at the wall and stuff like that with no real proper thought and structure and stuff like that. Now, there's some very good players in there as well, but they just look a bit lost in truth. Henry, hope you are well today. He's absolutely brilliant. Roll me one Kenobi. Bradley, if he keeps developing well, we might sniff around soon. Yeah, I tell you, he's a bit of a baller, that boy, isn't he? And yeah, and even when he had to move position and stuff like that, he came a little bit unstuck then and stuff like that. But again, the one thing that Jurgen Klopp insists on, and it's interesting, when you come out of the United game yesterday, you talk about the United Fulham game, and a lot of the backlash is about the lack of work rate. You know, the lack of work rate from Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes and all these senior players and stuff like that. And then you come into a game like this, and even when we bring in young players, lads that have been kind of on the fringes or in the academy and stuff like that, the way that work rate and that ideals of Jurgen Klopp and what his expectation is filters right down the academy, right through to the kids. You can see when those players come on, they may not necessarily be ready. They may not necessarily be at the level that you want them to be at. But by God, they're going to work their backside off for that manager and for their teammates and stuff like that. And we've seen that today. Those players that came on, Bobby Clark, McConnell, Dans, Kwanzaa, we've seen them coming on. They just work their socks off. You know, there's a mindset when they come on that there's an expectation that this is the minimum we expect. And maybe what you're lacking, a little bit of quality at times, stuff like that, you'll certainly make up for them work rate. And those boys today, all heroes as well. And it'll be lived long in their memories as well. Look at how great they did. And each of them should be so proud. And you've seen it with Virgil and the boys and the celebrations and all that, and how they're made feel such a part of this group. Something that I spoke about for years. I spoke about it when we were going through some of those tough times, and Divock Origi was there and all those kind of things. And I said, you have to make these players feel a part of this group, a part of this inner family. And if you can get that and let that trickle down into the academy, that we are one club on a united front and all that kind of stuff, that pushes through and it comes through so well and stuff like that. So important. Do you think he's keeping Mo and Nunes and Dom for Wednesday night? I don't think that would be the case, Daz. I don't think so. Not probably for a cup final. I basically just think I don't think they're ready, because I think if he was keeping them and they were available, I think they probably would have been on the bench. So even if things went a little bit awry or Chelsea went a goal up, that we had better options off the bench. So I doubt it. I'd say the three boys aren't ready, and they may not even be ready for Wednesday. So let's see what happens. But by God, we're going to need them if these guys are leaving on crutches and stuff like that. They ran themselves into the ground today. 1-16, 1-17. It's now coming up to 3 months and still haven't shaved my beard. Awesome. Keep it going. Klopp was like Arnold Schwarzenegger from Kindergarten Cop today, leading the youth to school, a billion squad. Yeah, absolutely. And great way. Listen, brilliant way of summing it up there and stuff like that. And I tell you what I noticed. What I noticed is, if you notice the two huddles at half time in extra time, Klopp was bigging up the young lads. He was going around. He was giving it the Costas and all these players and stuff like that. Went over to Kwanzaa, was giving them loads, all this kind of thing. Was giving these players, really bigging them up and stuff like that. He didn't really need to stand there and tell them their job or what they need to do. He just wanted them to enjoy the experience and feel like $1,000,000. And that way, if you can get that kind of arm around the shoulder, that's unbelievable at times for people and stuff like that. Makes a huge difference. So absolutely fantastic. But yeah, great description. Roll me one Kenobi. Great film as well. Great film as well. Kindergarten Cop. I'm gonna get Klopp's biography book. Yeah, absolutely. Well worth it. Well worth it, my friend. Yeah. So this was certainly a talking point, wasn't it, and stuff like that. I'm so unlucky for Ryan Gravenberch, and to be honest, you know, fingers crossed on this one, but I think this is going to be a serious one. I think he could be gone. I think we could have lost him for a little while. Looking at that and the way he was down and the way he had to come off and stuff like that, it looked pretty serious. And I think that might be the end of Ryan. I have to tell you, folks, this brought a tear to the eye. This brought a tear to the eye, this moment, I have to say. Let me know your thoughts on it. It definitely deserved a card, didn't it, Romy One Kenobi? Definitely a card. Probably a yellow. We've seen reds given, but probably a yellow. And I tell you, we need to look as well at that Virgil van Dijk goal that was disallowed. I thought the whole idea, like, we've brought in specialists in training on corner kicks and set pieces and stuff like that. And I can guarantee you that one of the tactics that's used in setting up corners and that kind of thing, 100% and free kicks. 100% is players going in with the block. And we have seen loads of goals scored this season that were given on the background of players putting in a block and stuff like that. So I just don't get it. For me, maybe it was that Endo came from an offside position to put the block in or something like that. But for me, I've seen plenty of goals scored like that, and I couldn't believe it. I wouldn't risk them for Wednesday. Salah, Nunes, Sabaz as well. Get them back for the Forest game. It's more important game for us to stay top and keep City at bay. Yeah, I think I think that would be my case as well. I suppose pending Keith on who we have available, because I think now if Endo might be out and then Gravenberch might be out as well, we're really down to the bare bones then at that stage, you know what I mean? And it's like we still want to progress in the FA Cup. We don't want to let Anton slide this year or disrespect that, and we're down to the bare bones now, so it's going to be a tough one. Romy one Kenobi. Don't get me started on VAR. It's ruining the game, in my opinion. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? The way they show the camera angles now, which are back from a certain thing, and then at half time they show it. And when they show it then at half time, it's kind of nearly straight along the line, and you can see clearly then the VAR decision and stuff like that, So just absolutely crazy and stuff like that. And it's just we were lucky. We were lucky because it was marginal, but that's what VAR is there for, Jamie was nearly crying on the stream before and all. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Listen, I was in tears downstairs. Sometimes I have to hold it back. But I tell you, boys, I'm emotional that way. I go to Anfield to watch a match, and when you'll never walk alone, players, I tear up. I go and visit the Hillsborough Memorial and I tear up and everything, lads. So no, absolutely, this was amazing. This is a big win. But let's not write this down. We're after going there with basically a skeleton squad. Look at the bench that we had. Look at the bench that was on this. Just take a look at this bench. All heroes, but all kids. And imagine how fantastic it is where Klopp turns around and he makes that decision. He goes, go out there, boys, and enjoy it. Go out there and express yourself. What a manager. What a manager to be able to do that. Absolutely incredible. And so proud of my club, so proud of your club and all these players and all. And listen, let's give props to Chelsea here as well. Chelsea put on a real good match as well. We did ride our luck at times, and they did have opportunities. And no matter where Chelsea are in their development or in the league, and where we are and in our development in the league, we always give each other a real tough game. It's always going to be a real tough game. But for some reason or another, it's been working out for us in recent times and stuff like that, and long may it continue. Bonkers is in. Big up, Bonkers. Congratulations. We did it, man. Cashado, a card at least. Absolutely. How? And VAR discussing it as well. There has to be a little bit of a, I know we won and all, but I'd like a little inquest in there to the conversation between VAR and the referee about how they didn't even arrive at a card. I mean, this guy's ankle was nearly broke. Let's be honest here, thought it was George Michael. Romy one Kenobi got to go and watch the match against Sevilla. Just wanted to come on and leave a like and congrats. Really appreciate it, pal. Thank you very much for coming on. Always welcome, and best of luck tonight with your match against Sevilla, another club that we have plenty of history with, and your own. I love football history. Absolutely. Keith is in. When does the international break start? Can we get anyone back when it's finished? Well, that was the talk. Pep Linders gave the update in the press conference on Friday, I think it was. He gave was it Friday? Or yes, I think it was Friday, yeah. And he said that a number of players are potentially coming back after the international break. But wouldn't it be great this week if we were to see Dom, or we were to see Mo, or we were to see Darwin? What a lift that would give the squad as well. No disrespect to the young lads and all. They've come in and done a fantastic job. And I tell you, I said it on the podcast the other day as well. I turned around and I said, sometimes there's a silver lining, sometimes within these injuries, where you get to uncover these little nuggets, these little gems, the Bradleys, the McConnells, the Dans, the Clarks, all these guys, Kwanzaa. I mean, if you think about it, if we hadn't had the injuries earlier in the season, the Matt one and stuff like that, would we have ever seen Kwanzaa? Would we have ever seen Connor Bradley? So it's absolutely fantastic. So great stuff there. Absolutely delighted for it. Jack is in. Big up, Jack. Great win. Let's go, baby. And Dallas, you'll never walk alone. Big up, absolutely. We certainly won't. How the fuck was Virgil's first goal disallowed? This country's football has gone corrupt. Yeah, I don't know, Jack. I was just talking about it earlier that like one of the key things that people deploy in coaching for these things, and I've even done it in my coaching with the underage guys here, is always about using those blockers and stuff like that to open up those spaces. So I don't know how it impacted on the goal. For me, it was a good goal that was chalked off. Again, Chelsea fans will talk about the VAR decision and stuff like that, but if VAR chalks it off, it chalks it off. What can you do? And stuff like that. But that one, I think, was a bit more of a stretch to chalk off, I think. Isn't it 2 weeks till the international break? I think it is, Daz. Yeah, I think it comes. Does it come right after the City game for us, isn't it? Is it the City game? We have Southampton, we have Forest, and then I think, I'm not sure if we're back in Europa action then, and then City. But look, games are coming thick and fast. My dad was going fucking mad when it was offside, and he said Mike Dean's a Tranmere fan, so why would he do that? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Mike Dean's not necessarily a Liverpool fan, though, that's for sure. But yeah, let me know. What was your thoughts on this? Tell us this, chat. Is there any way we get this man to change his mind? Does this man change his mind? Can we find a way in the next 3 to 4 months to change this man's mind? Big up, Jack. My birthday next Saturday. Any plans for it? Let us know if you have any plans. And yeah, but big up. We'll mention it during the week. Remind us during the week, and when we're doing the podcast, we'll give you a shout out on the birthday countdown, of course. Me, I will change his mind. Absolutely. What do you reckon, Bonkers? Do you reckon we can change his mind? We probably won't have no one available for the City game. Yeah, we probably won't. It's mad. But listen, we got to find a way. Let us know, Bonkers. Do you think we can change that man's mind? Do you think we can convince him to stay? Might go for a cheeky Nando's. There you go. Go out there, Jack, and treat yourself. It's your birthday, man. Treat yourself. Go out there. But this was fantastic as well, wasn't it? And I loved the way Virgil, like, he was insisting on the gaffer getting in there on the trophy and getting involved. But I thought that moment there, and that moment there, like, look at that face. Does that face there look like it's tired? Does that face look, and this is such a brilliant photo, isn't it? Because if you look on one side, if you've got Virgil and Konate and the experience, and on the other side, look what you've got: Jarrell Quansah, Dance. You've got all these young lads there. Quavine in the background. What a game he played today! But it's amazing, isn't it? It's like one of those before and after snaps, isn't it? Really, it's so cool. But does that man look like he's tired? Did that man go up those steps today at Wembley? Did he look any bit tired? Keith, if we win the quad, I think that might change it. He needs a statue at Liverpool when he does go. He'll be getting that anyway. No, they won't change his mind. You don't think so, Bonkers? Come on, give us a bit of hope. We've won the Carabao Cup. Let's go. Give us a bit of hope. Hope United do us a favour next week against City. Absolutely no chance. Did you see them yesterday, Daz? Absolutely no chance whatsoever. Mark Hogan's in. My brother on the Monday mashup. Don't forget to check us out tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. We will be talking Carabao Cup, and we will be getting Mark's thoughts, our resident referee, on the Cachado, on the VAR, on the Van Dijk goal. He'll dissect that all down. Congratulations to Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool, and all you guys here. Well done. Enjoy it. Appreciate it, cuz. Absolutely, really appreciate it. And we'll be on tomorrow night, no doubt, going through everything. Yeah. What else can we say, folks? What else can we say? Look at that line up there. Just look at how crazy that is. And wasn't it brilliant to have the boys there? Wasn't it great to see like Curtis there involved around it? Mo Salah. Did you see how emotional Mo Salah was during the game and everything? Darwin, all these boys. We truly are a family, aren't we? We really, really are a family. There's not one player there feels out of place in any way. Truly a family environment. Gotta make him change his mind, don't we? Gotta make him change his mind. All right, Mark, are you watching the snooker on ITV4? Yeah, interesting. And Mark, actually, that thing you sent me today about picking what's the hardest, I think we'll put that up on the podcast tomorrow. Mark sent me 4 sporting achievements today. I won't tell you what it is, but we're going to put it up on the Monday Mashup tomorrow, and we're going to do a poll. Which do you think is the hardest? And we'll see. I gave my thoughts. Mark gave his thoughts. Let's see if you guys on the Monday Mashup tomorrow night agree with us. Let's see. I am indeed, Daz. Are you watching? There you go. There you go. There you go. What else can we say? Absolutely amazing, Reds. Thanks again. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Another trophy in the bag. Can this trophy propel us on now and give us that bit of a lift that we might need? Keith, I miss the old days when football was a simple game and not making football a difficult game to watch. Man, I was out of my chair celebrating that Van Dijk goal. I was jumping around, calm as you like. I was in the WhatsApp group, chalked off. It kills us, doesn't it? It kills us. Some roar at the end. Enjoy the trophy, man. Cheers, Morrison. In fairness to Morris, you know Morris, he's a gunner. He's on here. He was on to me straight away. He says, I'd love to be lifting a trophy like that and playing at Wembley today. He says, and people forget that, you know what I mean? Through the all the qualifying into this cup and stuff like that, it's disrespected so much. All right, Morris, when are you live next? Morris pumping out content at the moment, doing a great job. Make sure, check out Cheap Productions podcast, folks. Make sure you're going over there and supporting it. And I tell you, if wrestling is your thing, we do a decent job here once a week on Pro Wrestling Weekly. Don't forget, it's early this week as well. It's on the Tuesday, because Wednesday we're in FA Cup action and we'll be covering that. So make sure you check us out on Tuesday, but check out Morris's channel as well. Absolutely tops for wrestling. Tomorrow and Tuesday, there you go, Daz. Tomorrow and Tuesday. Absolutely grinding it out. Right, folks, that's a quick little recap. We will be talking about it more tomorrow night, of course, on the Monday Matchup with Mark and getting his thoughts and all your thoughts as well. We'll let it settle in at the moment. Enjoy your evening. Have a beer. Celebrate. You know, fantastic. Until next time, folks, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification. Noel, any chance you could talk about wrestling podcasts on your next wrestling show? The pros and cons. It will be an interesting chat. The pros and cons of a wrestling podcast. Yeah, well, listen, we'll talk about it on Tuesday. Bring it up, Keith, if you're on Tuesday. And what we'll do is give me a bit more detail. Send me on a bit more detail. Give me an idea of what you want me to cover and stuff like that. And of course, I'll always give you my thoughts on it. Richie's in. We are over and out. We certainly are over and out. And we will talk to you again real soon, folks. Come on, you Reds. Anfield South. Carabao Cup champions.